Ho, 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 ho. Here I'm is. A little bit late, but it's only 3 after 8. Plenty of time for everybody to get in line for a little bit of good old-fashioned break on through. Now, if I can get the damn... Let's see, click to expand. Yeah, y'all are pretty much going to have to go through this. Oh, wait a minute. I'm filming the other side. Let's see what I got to do here. There we go. Now I got it figured out. I know y'all are like, man, Break On Through is like a documentary on early man trying to use modern technology. And you would be right. It is kind of like that. Oh, man. As you can see, I just got out of the shower. It was a hard day at work today. Hard day for the working class. Now, I think I got it the way I want it. How's that look for y'all? All right. Welcome to another thrilling episode of Break On Through. And you may wonder, damn, you got some hibiscus tea and that Sophia Loren mug? No, I got coffee in here. You're like, coffee? Man, after this, you got to go to bed, son. I'm telling you, the coffee don't keep me awake. It helps me to get going. But if it's ready, if it's time for me to go to sleep, I'm going to sleep. That's all there is to that. Plus, I got a little something else here. I'll show y'all in a little bit. I'll do a little plug for. Not even though I'm not being subsidized for it at all. No, I'm going to tell you something. I don't have any topic to talk about except for the 40-year anniversary show. And I've got the questions, or I got your comments up pretty big where I can see them. So if you ask me something and it's not a 2.5 hour essay question, I'm going to answer it right here on Break On Through. But otherwise, I got to tell y'all, I'm getting thousands of cards, letters, telegrams every day. People saying, damn, Jack Clay, we're looking forward to that good old 40-year anniversary show, but man, you got to tell me something, what's going to be going down, son. Well, I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you what's going down. You already know that you're going to have a meet and greet with every member of ANTiSEEN that is performing that night, and in addition, Doug Throgmorton. I'll be there to sign anything you bring, anything you buy right there on the spot. We're going to sign it. We'll be there from 6 to 7:45. That is 1 hour and 45 minutes, and a lot of signing going on. Now, I got to remind you this, and you might say, well, damn, boy, you think all of yourself there, Hoss. But when you're doing signing people's stuff, and some people got a lot of stuff, you know, and but it is our policy. We sign it all. We sign it all, even if we're backed against the wall. We sign it. But we're not going to be able to stop and take pictures and stuff and do all that while we're signing the stuff. But we will be out and about the entire evening before we play. And after we play, we will have a section set up where you can come and get your picture made with us, with your camera. We'll have somebody there to do it. And you might say, well, damn, how much is that going to cost me, old JC? You got to tell me. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to cost you anything. We don't charge for it. We don't charge to sign stuff that you've already bought. And we don't charge for you to get your picture made with us. You might say, well, damn, you ain't no good businessman. Well, that may be true, but we believe in treating our fans right and not trying to squeeze every single penny out of them that we can. Now, don't get me wrong, we're going to find other ways to squeeze every penny out of you that we can with all the merchandise we're going to have. Man, I'm going to tell you what, I got merchandise stacked up in here. I told Barry and them, I said, man, y'all going to have to come by and bring the trailer and put the stuff in. There's no way I can get this in my damn Nissan and bring it to practice. I can't do it. I could probably get one thing and make like 15 trips. Ain't doing that. Now, well, there's Dave Norton. Now, Dave Norton's going to be there. He's going to be, that's our official photographer. So if you see a dashing young lad with a lot of camera gear climbing all over you, if you're up to the front, don't worry, it's Dave Norton. He's hired to be there. So don't be calling club security on him or nothing. We have our own security, so don't worry about that. But there is something I have to tell you, and I don't know how people are going to take this, but we'll be accepting credit and debit cards, but to avoid having a surcharge for what it costs to use this machine that we're using, we are having to insist that the card only be used on purchases $25 and over. So if it's under $25, man, bring some cash. And besides, I'm going to tell you right now, to us, cash is king. I don't care what the Biden administration says. We like cold hard cash. We know ways to spend it, so keep that in mind. But in addition to the main merch table, which will be commandeered by the First Lady herself, along with our daughter Katie, also known as Little Coleman's mom, they will be womaning the main merchandise stand. Now, there's going to be another merchandise stand set up that's nothing but surplus posters. And Mondo Braswell is going to be manning that. Now, that table right there, that's cash only, son. We don't have a separate machine to run that. So, you want posters? Bring you a little bit of that green lettuce with you. Mondo will spread that stuff out, make a nice big salad for himself right there on the table, and you will have ANTiSEEN classic posters. And chances are most the lineups that these posters represent will be there. 6 lineups. Can you dig that? 6 lineups. Let me see if I can go down the, of course, lineup number 1, the Ultra lineup. We're going to bookend that whole show. The beginning and the end. The Alpha and the Omega. Ultra lineup. In between, I've told y'all before, it was like some nice fruit peach filling and a nice South Carolina peach pie. The Ultra lineup being the bottom and top crust. You are going to see ANTiSEEN on stage once again with Mad Brother Ward. Did you ever think that would happen again? Well, it will. You will see the lineup of Badwell Ambassadors and Boys from Brutusville featuring Sir Barry Hannibal, myself, and Doug Knipe. One of the first anniversary shows he ever played since he has not been in the official lineup. So that's going to be a special thing. Walt Wheat, of course, handling all guitar, except for the little break he gets while Mad Brother Ward is showing off his Yngwie Malmsteen-esque skills to the audience. After that, back by popular demand because you loved it during the Ruin Your Groove broadcast, you didn't get enough of it, and you want more, well, we're giving you more. The Here to Ruin Your Groove lineup, featuring everyone I just named. Take out Duke Knight, put in Trip McNeil. Trip, the Ripper, the Nipper, the all-night stripper. Will be there, thumping bass, in your face, all over the place, giving fives, giving signs. It's all going to happen with Trip McNeil. And you know, when Trip McNeil's there, a good time will be had by all. That's just how it works. Then we start going deep into what is known as the classic lineups. From 1991, the Southern Hostility lineup. Walt Wheat on that chainsaw guitar, me right beside him, singing a sweet, sad country song. And beside us, Tom O'Keefe and Steve Sadler. Steve Sadler, back on stage with ANTiSEEN the first time since his tour of duty. That's not the first time he's done projects with it. We had him sing on some stuff, and that's fun. I like getting the older guys involved in stuff, you know. The Obstinate album had the most ANTiSEEN members on one record at one time. Second, maybe only to the Christmas 12-inch we did a few years back. Christmas record might rear its ugly head again. I got to talk to Mark at TKO about that. See what he says. And as if that is not enough, to end that section of the program, me and Tom, Walt, are going to welcome my little brother, Greg Clayton. And I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Y'all say, Jeff Clayton, you got to tell me something. I'm going to tell you something right now. Now, y'all can't go around spreading this. But that night, September 30th, at Ground Zero in Spartanburg, South Carolina, that is Greg Clayton's birthday. Don't buy him a bunch of beers now before we play, because, well, I don't know. Greg can always play drunk. Yeah, Clintonzilla, that's Mr. Starry Night himself, Gregory Allen Clayton. Born in Severn, Maryland. The old man was Air Force, so we were all over the place. That's why I was born in Panama City, Florida. Statue of me down there in the square. I tell people that all the time, no, I ain't a statue of you, son. And I'm telling you, just go down to the damn Panama City, Florida square, and you'll see it. Would I lie? And man, I'm telling you, the set list has got some surprises, some curveballs, some surprises in it that you ain't going to believe. And I know a bunch of you thinking, yeah, we know for a fact you're going to be doing Shaking by any minute. Nope. That was just a little thing we did while running drills, man. Me and Barry, we have a ringer ANTiSEEN lineup that comes and plays so that I can keep the old voice in check. Barry can keep the chops up, and we always do some songs for fun at the end of work. We do a little play. We've played Rock and Roll Damnation. No, it wasn't Rock and Roll Damnation. We played Give Me a Bullet by AC/DC. And what else have we played, man? We played some cool stuff. We played more AC/DC, more Kiss. We played some Alice Cooper. But last week, man, we finally played some Eddie Money. And that made old JC happy. Can you dig it? I knew you could. Let's see who all's in here. Don't let me look at who all's in here. Well, tell me. Let's do, of everyone who's in here right now, let's do a little roll call. Who's coming to the 40th? Who's going to be there? Man, I've been hearing from people from the Midwest. I've been hearing from people down around Florida town. I've been hearing from people up around Philadelphia way. I've been talking to guys in the great fatherland of Germany making their way over. Man, it is going to be a knockdown, drag-out rock and roll party in the street. I know you've heard me say that before, but I'm saying it again, a knockdown, drag-out rock and roll party in the street. Oh, here we go. Clinton Zilla says, I'm there like Fred Astaire. James Cave says, you know your boy from Maryland is coming down. I'm there, plus one from PA. Virginia. Nashville. Paul Robinson says, we're there. Raleigh, North Carolina will be well represented. The Myers family will be there. Walt Wheat says he's going to do his very best to make it. So, I mean, that's what we hope for. We got some coming from Chicago. They're from SSIPPI, and that's not just our guitar player. Dave Norton. Who am I going to hear in myself? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, Dave Norton's going to be there, of course. Your crew, man. You got a crew shirt. York, South Carolina will be properly represented. Cliffside. Dina Sods. Katie After Dark. Are you really coming? Coming from Connecticut. Man, I'm happy. I'm happy. You know where there probably won't be too many people from? Charlotte, North Carolina. What do you mean, Spartanburg there? Well, it needs to be in Charlotte so I can just walk across the street and go. We'll have more talk of Charlotte as the year goes on. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about a thing. Can you drink on Go Live? Like, can you drink alcohol? I'm getting ready to. But I'm going to tell you some place that me and the First Lady love, and I'm giving them a plug right here on Break On Through. If any of you are down here a few days before and you want to check out some good North Carolinaism, go to the Old Mecklenburg Brewery. Now, if you don't want to go to the brewery, go to any grocery store and look for the OMD label, the logo. Look at that. Let me back it up. This is one of their beers called Copper that we have become very fond of. Down the hatch to all of you. I wonder if one of the Facebook morality drones will cancel me. Well, who knows? Who cares at this point, really? But let's see. Well, that's people talking to each other now. Come on, y'all got to tell me something. We got some more roll call coming around. I want to see your face in the place. I want to immediately see mofos from wall to wall. I want to see them 15 deep in the bathroom stall. That's how I want to see it. So, I mean, look, I'm telling you, it's been a shit week. It was a shit week last week, but I do have a new car. New to me. It's not a brand new car, but ask me some questions. You know how I'm always saying, all right, Morticia May says Atlanta will be there, but they're still waving the Florida flag, so Florida will be in the house by way of Atlanta. And there's some people from the great city of Gaffney, South Carolina. All right. Kelly says he'll be there in spirit, brother. We understand your situation, and you know what? I have not made any plans for streaming this. Those plans usually get made like spur of the moment. And I'm not going to expect anybody to stream this damn thing for, you know, however many hours it's going to end up being. But, now Amy's trying to poke at the set list now. Amy, you know I can't give away any set list rock and roll secrets. That's why they're called rock and roll secrets. Can't give that away. Do not play, do not give the game away. There's Brian Dunlap. Let me tell you something about Brian Dunlap, okay? Brian plays in a really, really great band from around Charlotte, North Carolina, a town called October. We've known Brian for years and years and years. We have not shared the stage with October in quite some time. That is a wrong that we will right at some point soon in the future. And but I want to tell you what Brian's got going on with October. October 29th at the Milestone in Charlotte, North Carolina, they've got bands doing a Halloween show where the band performs as another band. They do a whole set of another band's material. And October will be doing a little bit of good old-fashioned down home, like Grandma used to make, ANTiSEEN. Can you dig that? I can dig it. I can't wait to see it. He picked some really good songs. I mean, he picked a few of the standards. You got to pick the standards. But they did some that are kind of off the beaten path, and they're doing some of the new shit. Edward Braswell has a question, and man, that is a good question. Mondo asks, what is the song War Hero about? Was it written about anybody in particular? And I am going to tell you the story behind War Hero. As you all know, and I've done an entire show about this, but during the time in between Drastic and EP Royalty going into, actually it was Drastic. Drastic was first, and then came Honor Among Thieves. Then came EP Royalty. But Honor Among Thieves hadn't seen the light of day yet. So it got bumped back behind EP Royalty. And then when the guy putting out the album, Rick Knoll, out of Red Line, Pennsylvania, with Bonafide Records, he heard EP Royalty. He goes, damn, man, I want to put some of the EP Royalty songs on Honor. Let's take off some of the longer songs, you know, some of the weaker tracks, and let's put the three main tracks from EP Royalty. Okay, but I'm getting way off base here. But anyway, it's the time between Drastic and Honor Among Thieves. when I worked at the Joy Adult Bookstore on Independence Boulevard here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I worked the third shift. And if I knew then what I know now, I would never have taken that job, but I must admit, it was the greatest sociology lesson I think I could have ever had. Oh, there's my good friend Julie Francois, all the way from the great city of Quebec, Canada. Julie, we hadn't heard from you in quite some time. Matter of fact, the last time I think I heard from you was at one of the anniversary shows. I can't remember which one. I think maybe 25? 30? But it's nice to hear from you. But anyway, I'm working at the Joy Adult Bookstore. And to say that we got some bizarre characters in there, especially on the third shift, would be a gross understatement. And you know, you think at these places what you're getting is a bunch of perverts and stuff, but a lot of times, man, I found this out, that it is a lot of times just a bunch of lonely people. A lot of guys just want to come in there and stand around and talk. Listen to music with me, man. I had a cassette player with a radio on it. Stack of comic books, and man, everyone said the same thing. Man, you got all this in here and you're bringing comic books. I'm just like, well, when you're in here for 8 hours a night, every single night, you know, like what, 6 nights a week, after a while, it all kind of starts to look the same. but yeah, you know, I'll be reading some vampire tales or some Masters of Kung Fu or something. And but one night, there was a fella came in, and he was a Vietnam vet. Big tall guy, man, real loud, you know. Wore those amber shades, kind of like you'd see Hank Jr. wearing in the 80s. And I just remember him talking to one of my coworkers, and we're just leaning up on the counter, and he's leaning on the other side, and we're talking, and he says, you know, he's telling Vietnam, you know, Vietnam vets, like, some of them like to tell Vietnam stories. Man, I like to hear them, you know. I mean, as disturbing as some of them are, but man, this guy, he says to us, and he said, man, he is not trying to be funny. You can tell when someone's trying to pull your leg, you know, but he's just like, you know, this head that you're talking to right now, this is not my original head that I was born with. Like, my head got blown in half in Vietnam, and I survived. And they grafted another head onto me, and this is like not even the face I was born with. We're just like, wow. Plus, maybe I'd seen some documentaries. I'd probably at that time probably seen, I don't know if I'm getting my timeline right, but maybe I saw Platoon, and I was just thinking, you know, and you think, and I was thinking about this guy is mental, and I wonder how he's being taken care of, or if he's even been taken care of at all. Hey, you don't know. I got old JC's social conscience working, and I just generalized. It wasn't about any. I guess the song itself wasn't about. I put myself in the character's position in the song, but I'm telling you, I haven't served any time in the armed forces. But But it just had me thinking, and I wrote that song, and it was I felt like it was kind of a sympathetic look at them, for them, towards them. So, you know, especially the ones that came back really messed up, whether it be physically or mentally. So that's what inspired that. Man, I think, because see, I explained before, I used to have a room in the bookstore. There was a hallway, and you have to open the door, or you go in there. There's film projectors about head high. I mean, about 6, and they roll all night long. As soon as someone puts a coin in one, there you go. So them things are going off, huh? But there was a little storage room, like you had to walk, crouch down. Oh, you couldn't have got in front of the projectors if you wanted to. Space is only yet big, you know. But then you go through about 2 projectors, and you take a immediate right. There's a door there, and that was my little storage room. And it was like, oh, I don't know, man, maybe 12 foot by 4. I mean, it was narrow, and I had like a little single bed mattress in it, my stereo, my TV, everything. It was just stacked up, you know, tall. But that's where I lived for a while, and I remember getting off my shift, or maybe I'd got done with cleanup at 4 a.m. and the idea was just waiting to get out, you know, and I remember having a little pad, and man, the words just flowed right out. I guess because I was thinking about them the whole time while I was, you know, mopping up the residue of men pleasuring themselves. And man, you know what? I think I still have that very notebook with the songs that I was writing around the time of On Remote Thieves. I think I still have that notebook somewhere. And yes, it's for sale for the right price. Man, the clock here says 8:36. My clock up there says 8:40. I don't know. If y'all wanna ask me a couple more questions, man, I feel like talking. You make me feel like talking. I want to talk the night away. You make me feel like talking. I feel like talking. Woo! Talking. Woo! You're like, damn, Jeff, you need to drink more damn copper on the shows. Done. Oh. I showed this little Coleman the other day, and man, he got a kick out of it, boy. he would do it, and I'd scream like, ah! Man, he thought that was the funniest shit in the world. Here we go. Let's see here. My main Mondo Braswell just bought himself a copy of the Pale Orange First Pressing EP royalty. I got it right here, Mondo. It's going out to you tomorrow, man. Hell, label's already on it. I'm going to secure it with a little bit more tape, because that tape was coming off. But don't want your EP royalty to be falling out all over some hickory post office. People see it, start stomping it. I would. So here it is. Man, you know what? I got some great stuff in the mail the other day. For those of you around the Cleveland, Ohio area that cannot make the 40-year anniversary show, you can go to Cinema Wasteland. Our main Art Ettinger is going to be there with a table for his Ultraviolet magazine. He's also conducting some of the Q&A's going on, and our friend Janice Blythe is going to be there too, and they will be screening 2 of her films, one of which is The Drive-In Massacre. And just the other day, I got this in the mail from her, one of the photos she's going to have at the convention. So if you can't make the show, go to Cinema Wasteland. In addition to Janice and Art Ettinger, there's lots of other good stuff. But man, those things are great. I would love to go to one year. I got to get something over there. I got to show y'all something. Hold one second. All right, so you had to hold 3 seconds. I got something here for you. All I can say is, didn't this blow your mind this time? Didn't it? Look at this. From Vinegar Syndrome. The Films of Rudy Ray Moore. The only way to describe this is with a James Brown song, I'm Super Bad. Man, this has got Dolomite, Human Tornado, Petey Wheatstraw, and Disco Godfather, all in one beautiful, beautiful Blu-ray box. I think it's Blu-ray. Yeah. Pretty sure it is. But look at that, man. That is so cool. I love box set stuff. And they had, this Rudy Ray Moore was on sale. I think it's getting ready to go out of print. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but if you want one, you can go on vinegarsyndrome.com or, yeah, I guess that's right, and look it up. Yeah, Erica says Vinegar Syndrome is a fantastic company. They are. They got great stuff, man. They do great restorations of old sleaze and exploitation and horror films. And and I think I got Human Tornado from this series already, but when I saw that box, I was like, oh man, I gotta go ahead and get them all now, Hoss. But yeah, I told you Mondo got him an EP royalty, and he did, and yeah, I tell you how it's going, y'all. I'm pretty much selling my ANTiSEEN collection. There may be some stuff I keep, just as out of sentimental reasons, but I got a bunch of stuff, and I'm not gonna. I just don't foresee listening to it, man. It's like I'd rather y'all have it. I've already given my oldest kids, my 2 oldest, I gave them complete collections at the time, so I feel like I'm good in that. I mean, I ended up when I married the first lady, total we got 7 kids and one and 2 grandchildren now. So I didn't know I'd be 7, 8, 9 complete sets of everything I've done. And I don't sit around listening to ANTiSEEN. And yeah, you're right. To quote the great Malcolm Tent, I run a store, not a museum. When it comes right down to it, everything in here is for sale. I'm not gonna but like I told you before, man. When it comes to those test pressings and stuff, I'm digging through. I'm not going to be selling it at bargain basement prices. I'm not in a hurry to get rid of it, but I know what I want for it, and if you want it, that's what you gotta agree to. But yeah, I'm more interested in I say this all the time. I'm more interested in going forward, moving forward. Man, I want to put stuff out, not just by ANTiSEEN. We got TKO and TPOS, and we're probably going to be working with Missing Fink, to put out some ANTiSEEN stuff. But I want to build Long Haired Weirdo Records. Even though we're mostly doing CDs now, I want to do more projects with that. Not that I'm looking to make a ton of money on it. I mean, look, if I was looking to make a fortune, would I have even started a band like ANTiSEEN? Much less kept it going for 40 years? All right, Mondo's got another question. What song lended more inspiration to Stormtrooper? Stormtrooping by Ted Nugent, or Today Your Love, Tomorrow the World? Let me give that a little thought here. Both definitely had influence in that decision and in that songwriting. But I'm going to tell you a song that I think contributed to that song being written just as much as these two. And that is a number by a fantastic English band called Tank, called He Fell in Love with a Stormtrooper. Now that's your assignment tonight before you go to bed. Get on YouTube, look up Tank. He Fell in Love with a Stormtrooper. Do it. You will not regret this decision and this small project that you have to do. You're right, Erica. Filth Hound of Hades is a great record. But I just want y'all to do a little taste tonight. Listen to He Fell in Love with a Stormtrooper. And believe me, after you hear that, you're going to say, damn, if you're not a Tank fan, you will be a Tank fan. And you will be looking. And if you're the type fan that just wants to get, the best stuff of some people, you could either get, working class. You could either get Armor Plated, which I think is a 2-record set of all that early stuff that's still when they still had Algie Ward singing, playing bass, and or their most popular album that they ever did, Filth Hounds of Hades, produced by Fast Eddie Clarke. So what other credentials do you need at that point? I'm thinking none. Clinton Zilla says favorite Motorhead ballad. Man, I really like 1916. I don't think Motorhead was, you know, the greatest in the ballad department. I don't think that was their forte. But 1916 really, really struck a chord. How about some obscure Motorhead songs, man? Do you guys know that Built for Speed was originally known as On the Road? And do you know where you can hear that? You can hear the On the Road version in the movie Eat the Rich. It's a British comedy. And it's before it became Built for Speed. Another one of my favorite, more obscure Motorhead songs is Just because you got the power doesn't mean you got the right. Oh, yeah, I knew we'd start talking about Motorhead. Jeff Martin's going to pop up. He can feel that Motorhead vibe all the way down from Austin, Texas town. Glad to see you here, Jeff. Let's see what else is going on around Break On Through town. Well, damn, y'all. It's what? 10 to 9. Ryan Dunlap just says Just Because You Got the Power is his favorite Motorhead song. That's all right. There goes Jeff Martin with some Ace of Spades there. Now, I'm telling you, you could be on any podcast. It don't matter where it is, when it is. If you start talking about Motorhead, Jeff Martin's going to pop up. He don't care, man. He's got like a Motorhead spidey sense. When someone starts talking about some Motorhead, well, Jeff Martin just kind of goes, zoop. It's one of the many things I like about the fella. What else y'all want to talk about for about 5 minutes? I will tell you this. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, on Malcolm Tent's Facebook page. I think. I'm pretty sure he's doing a Tent Talks Tunes tomorrow. He's a busy guy. I ain't even talked to Malcolm much since we last parted ways. But we'll be talking to each other a lot next week. Well, come on, let's see. Let's get some more of y'all that are telling me that they are. Malcolm confirms that there will be a Tent Talks Tunes tomorrow. That's 4 T's. Tent Talks Tunes tomorrow. Any chance of us playing in the New England area? Chuck, not in 2023. Sorry to say, but man, the chances of us playing, I'm not saying it's going to be few and far between, but man, we are being a lot more choosy and making the trips count. Now, I'm not saying we won't come to New England. Now, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that the span of time between trips will be much wider because we're going to try to do at least 2 runs per year along with 2 marathon recording sessions. We are going to stay busy. Can you dig it? I mean, we've already got January planned to record. I'll go ahead and tell you what the project is. We are going to record Falls Count Anywhere, a collection of wrestling songs as performed by the Ultra lineup. That's the name of the record. And I'm sorry it's not short. You know, like a lot of you guys like one word title, like Nevermind and stuff like that. But we like to give a title that explains everything. And so that's the first thing we're going to do. And man, I ain't even told you. I guess I've told you. We've got 2 more records in the can, man. We are doing the last bit. We've finished the last bit of recording. I may go back and do vocals on one again. But we're in the mixing stage, and very soon, like next month, I will be talking to the TKO graphics department, and we will be hashing out the covers for both records. One of them is a single, and I think it will be the last ANTiSEEN 7-inch for a long time. I don't think we're going to be putting out any more, like, of our own accord. Like if someone else says, hey, we want to put out an ANTiSEEN 7-inch, well, okay. But it is a song about our good friend and wrestler George South. It's called Bootleg Preacher, the ballad of George South. And you are going to dig it. I can guarantee that. Well, listen, folks, I'm going to go ahead and turn in. As always, man, I know you're just like, ah, damn, Jeff Clayton, you ain't had nothing to talk about. But, you know, if you guys will give me more ideas of what you want to hear about, I'll be glad to talk about it. And, you know, otherwise, and 2, things are going to kind of get back to normal after the anniversary show. I mean, of course, I'll have to do a few shows, probably reliving the glory. But as always, I appreciate each and every one of you showing up here at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, listening to me jaw a little bit. I really appreciate you. And I hope you all have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a fantastic weekend this coming weekend. And I will see you all right back here next Tuesday on Break On Through.